Start by adding 1 cup of water and a pinch of salt into a clean bowl. Then gradually mix in 330 grams of additional flour while kneading until everything comes together. If you are not a fan of kneading by hand, you can use a stand mixer to make the process easier.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done.
Transfer the dough to a clean surface and knead it until it's smooth and elastic.
What we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through and through.
At this stage, add a bit of oil to make the dough softer and knead it in.
Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking.
You will notice that after I have put some oil, the dough will be a little bit less sticky.
You and I, the future is bright.
To check if your dough is ready, start by gently pressing your finger into the surface. If the dough springs back slowly and leaves a slight indent, it is ready. Place the dough in a clean bowl, cover it and let it rest for about 10 minutes or more. You can use a paper towel, a serviette, or even a clean towel to cover your dough. After allowing the dough to rest for 10 minutes, you will find that it has become a bit softer and more pliable, making it easier to work with. Remove the dough from the bowl and divide the dough into smaller, evenly sized balls, ensuring each portion is roughly the same size for consistent results. You can decide to measure each ball with a weighing scale, but it is not necessary. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I decided to divide my dough into smaller balls to make them easier to work with and ensure even cooking.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun.
Once divided, lightly flour your work surface and use a rolling pin to gently roll out each ball into thin, even circles. Take your time with this step, aiming for a smooth, uniform thickness across each piece, which will help them cook evenly and look beautifully uniform.
You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through and through. No limit to what we can do.
Once you've rolled out the dough into thin sheets, Take 3 or 4 of them and lightly brush one side of each with a little oil. After brushing, sprinkle a small amount of flour over the oiled surface. This combination of oil and flour is crucial because it prevents the sheets from sticking together while ensuring they separate easily later. Repeat the same process and carefully place the sheets on top of each other with the oiled and floured sides facing inward. Roll them out again to make them even thinner. The thinner the sheets, the crispier and flakier your samosa wraps will be. Repeat the same process for all the sheets.
We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Now, place the stacked sheets on a hot pan for just a few seconds on each side until you see them start to bubble and lift at the edges. Make sure your pan is very hot before placing the sheets on it. This is crucial because if the pan isn't hot enough, the sheets won't heat evenly and they might not separate as they should. A hot pan creates just the right amount of steam and heat to encourage the layers to puff and bubble, making it easier to peel them apart. So, always preheat your pan well before placing the stacked sheets on it. Once the pan is hot and ready, you'll see the layers start to lift and separate almost immediately, ensuring your samosa wraps come out perfectly every time. Also, make sure you don't burn yourself. Use a round item to trim the edges for perfectly round wraps. See how mine turned out? They are light, well-shaped, and ready for filling. Boil your minced meat in a pot with enough water to cover it. Cook until the water evaporates and the meat is browned. This step helps to ensure the meat is thoroughly cooked and tender. To chop your onions, start by trimming off the root ends and any tough outer layers. Then slice the green onions into thin, even pieces, including both the white and the green parts. This type of onions will give your meat a slightly tangy flavor. Once your meat has dried out, add the chopped green onions to the meat. The green onions will impart a subtle, onion-like sweetness with a hint of freshness. As they cook, they'll become tender and infuse the meat with a delicate, aromatic flavor that complements the savory profile of the meat. This step enhances the overall taste, giving your filling a bright and zesty note. You can decide to use less onions, but the more the onions, feel free to use fewer green onions if you prefer a milder taste. But keep in mind that the more onions you add, the richer and more flavorful your meat will become. Adding more onions will infuse the dish with a deeper, more aromatic flavor, enhancing the overall taste. Once your dough is prepared and rolled out, it's time to cut, shape, and fill your samosas. Start by cutting the rolled dough into even-sized squares or circles depending on your preference. You can refer to the video.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future.
To shape the samosas, take each piece of the dough and fold it into a cone or a triangle. For a cone, fold the dough in half and then bring the sides together to form a cone shape, sealing the edges with a little water that has been mixed with some flour. For a triangle, fold the dough square in half to form a triangle, then fold the edges to create a pocket.
Side by side and through and through.
Repeat the same process for all the wraps and ensure that there is no hole so that no oil will enter while frying your samosas.
Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Once your dough is cut and shaped, it's time to fill your samosas. Start by placing a small amount of your prepared filling into the center of each dough piece. Be careful not to overfill. A small heaping spoonful is usually sufficient. Overfilling can make it difficult to seal the edges properly and may cause the filling to leak out during cooking. Once filled, seal the edges of the dough securely. Use a little water or flour water paste to moisten the edges of the dough before pressing them together. This helps the dough adhere and form a tight seal. Make sure all the edges are well sealed to prevent any leaks. Press and pinch the edges firmly to ensure a good seal. Repeat the same process for all the samosas and take into consideration every tip that I have given.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun.
At this stage, your samosas are ready to fry. Now let's fry our samosas. After your oil is hot, dip in your samosas and fry them on high heat until both sides turn golden brown. This will take very few minutes, so don't go far.
No more, even in the hard times.
Turn your samosas and let them cook on the other side. After they are cooked, remove them from your pan and put them in a clean bowl. Be careful not to burn yourself as the oil is very hot.
We can do.
These are the results. You can take them with some tea or you can even eat them like that. Make sure you enjoy the samosas. Bon appetit!
Call us crazy, but things are finally right.